Hello everyone. Welcome back to Home Now. Let me ask you one thing. Have you ever felt in your life that your life looks great on paper? You check things off your list of accomplishments, you fulfilled your parents' expectations or society's expectation of what a successful life should look like, but you still feel like something was missing. If yes, rest assured you're not alone. As a life coach, a lot of my clients has come to me because exactly they're making great income, they are in a stable job, they are having relationships, and yet something was missing. They felt like there's no meaning in their life, they don't know why they're doing what they're doing, and they don't feel this sense of aliveness, right? This sense of I am where I'm meant to be. And even for myself, I have goals to get my PhD before I turn 30, and I did it. And I loved it. I love teaching. I love being able to engage in research. I love all of this exciting intellectual projects that I was able to do and making impact with the student that I worked with. And yet, I know something was missing. I just felt restless. I felt like I was falling behind. I felt like this is a rat race that I would never win. I would never get to a place where I feel at peace. I was like always trying to catch up with someone else's versions of what success should look like. And then I decided that I don't want to keep living like this for like maybe, I don't know, 50, 60 years for the rest of my life. So I decided that I want to make a big change and really dig deeper into the science of what makes life meaningful and happy outside of just conventional definition of success. That is where I discovered that one of the key elements of a life lived is a sense of meaning and your core values. Living in alignment with your core values and actually embodying it in your everyday life in big and small way actually give you a sense of positive energies that fuel you and motivate you to create a life that you are happy and fulfill, right? It's not like a life that you need a vacation from. It's not a life where you can't wait for the next break from it. We want to create a life that even though it's hard, even though you still have to work hard, even though it's demanding, you wake up and you feel a sense of excitement for the day ahead. And then you look back, maybe every year, at the end of the year or the beginning of the year, you look back at the last year and you feel like I'm going in the right direction. My life have meanings, have purpose, right? But it's all start with identifying your core values, because if you don't, then you keep doing things over here, over there, trying many things, and then you realize that it doesn't keep you satisfied for long. You're always longing for something else. Okay, so today we are going to explore how aligning your life with your values can bring you more meaning, clarity, and peace. I walk you through a step-by-step process to identify your core values, and then how to start aligning your actions with your values. So what exactly are core values? This is a word that all of us think we know what it means, but very few people actually have a strong understanding what their core values are. So if you're interested in it, I have a free guide down below in the comments, in the description for you to go through this process that will help you to identify your top 5, 7 core values, but really your core value is probably just the top 5, right? So they are not just fluffy words that you put on vision board. They are your personal compass. If you want to take your life in a different direction, if you want to start a new relationship, a new career, if you want to bring more balance into your life, your core values is where you want to start and where you want to direct your efforts into. They guide your decisions, they influence your relationships, and when your life is in alignment with your core values, you feel energized, crowded, and in flow. So a sense of engagement, aliveness with your life. How do you know when you are not living out your core values? You feel drained, disconnected, or even a sense of feeling lost, just going through the motion, not knowing why you are doing all of this work. Why are you getting a job? Why are you getting into a relationship? And there are a lot of messages from society that would tell you, hey, this is what you should value. Hey, this is what you should chase after, like productivity, prestige, popularity, achievements. All those things could be good for you if it's the cherry on top of living your life in alignment with your core values. But if you don't have that foundation, all these things could feel like pressures, could feel like you keep chasing it and you get something, an achievement, you get a new relationship, and you're happy for a little bit, and then problems starting to come up, right? But that's why deep down, you need to know what you value. I have goals, and those are good goals. They are a good way to start. They're a good start. But when I start realizing that internally I'm not feeling fulfilled, I'm not feeling passionate, I'm not living out my values, I needed to pause and reflect and identify my core values again. This time, learning from my own intuition instead of what my parents want, what society wants, what my professors want, right? So this time as an adult, I get to do it and really get to know my own inner core values. So it turned out that creativity, connections, and autonomy, freedom is actually high on my list for my individual core values. And then my life circumstances have changed, right? I have little kids. So that family become higher on my list of core values at that time. So once I made that shift, and it's not easy. I'm not saying that's all easy, because it takes years to come from like these vague feelings of discontent to, okay, I need to look a little deeper. Oh, okay, now I need to take some action. Now, okay, really solidified the direction where I want to go. And that's come with a lot of existential crises, because I'm like, oh my gosh, all my whole life I thought I'm gonna be a professor forever. This is what I've been preparing for. This is what the standard I have been holding myself up to. Who am I and what am I working toward? Right? There's a lot of that. But on the other side of it is immense freedom to choose and to make your life whatever you want it to be, as long as it provides you with enough emotional, financial, psychological safety. So how do you do that? Let me walk you through the 3 simple steps that you can take this week to align your core values with your actions. Number 1 is reflection. We are very action-oriented, and that's great. But before we take actions, we need to know why and how we are going to do it. So reflection is the first step for you to do. Grab a piece of paper and a pen, or even a journal, because this is something that you might want to do from time to time, and you could compare how they are changing over time. Right? Now, you could brainstorm or look up a list of core values, or you could use the workbook that I'm providing in the description to do this. And then out of the list of maybe 30 something core values that's most common for people, you could identify 3 to 5 values that's most important to you right now, right? Right now, what is the most important things to you? Not what sounds impressive, not what others expect of you, but what really lights you up inside, what really makes you feel like your true self, your best self. And some example that I have seen with my clients when they go through this experience is adventure, creativity, growth, kindness, family, freedom, learning, health, connections. And these are the values that sometimes get buried underneath all the pressures and expectations of societies, of other people. So sometimes you need to look deeper even into your childhood, even into things that you thought you have forgotten. So choose values that feel like home, that feel like a place where you are at peace, at ease, but also energized. Okay? So when you choose your values, then the next question to ask yourself is to be honest with yourself and say, am I living in a way that honors these values? If not, where's the disconnect? Right? If you are someone who really values cooperation and connections, but you're working in an environment where you have to be very competitive, you have to be playing games and dealing with a lot of office politics, for example, and you know that every day you come to work, it just drains you, it just makes you feel fake, right? It doesn't energize you at all. So, what do you need to switch? You need to identify these places in your life where you feel a disconnection, where it drains you, it feel like you need to be faking who you are, or you need to make yourself smaller, you need to give up part of your values to fit into the group. If you said, I value creativity, but you have not done any creative activities in a while because you're so busy with work or you're so busy taking care of other people, then you are not living in alignment with your core values. It is not a judgmental space. It is just awareness and acceptance and honesty. Because awareness and acceptance is the first step to change. So if you feel like you are really disconnected with your core values, then the next step for you is to ask yourself, what are some core values that I could incorporate into my life more? The action. The magic is in the action. Informed actions, right? So we do the reflection and we know what we're missing. Now we take action, right? And the actions could be very small. We dream big, but we take small steps. That's the key. We don't give up our dreams. We don't give up our potential. We don't give up who we really are. But we also don't have to just change overnight. Change are hard. Even positive changes require effort. So just pick something small. For example, this week, pick one of your core values that you want to work on and make a simple, meaningful move to honor it this week. For example, if you value connection, then you could call a close friend, you could plan a walk or coffee date, or have a no-phone dinner with your family, right? That would be your action for this week. Because once you start small, it's have the snowball effect, right? Tiny habits regularly lead to big transformation. If you value creativity, block out 30 minutes to paint, to write, to sing, to dance, or just daydreaming, right? To make a poem. Anything to work that creativity muscle, right? And so you will be sitting in the car waiting for the groceries to be delivered to your car, for example. Can you try to do something creative? You could make space for it when you prioritize it. If you value personal growth, then you could sign up for a class, even read 10 pages of a book, or write in your journal about how you want to improve your future learning. Do something to engage the values, to honor it, to bring it to life, to bring it into a part of your life every day. Small intentional steps can bring massive transformation in how you feel, and it's gradually lead you back to living in alignment with your core values. So the process is simple. I have the guide down in the description that you could check out. It's free. What is really important, the key ingredient is you. You gotta recommit to yourself. You gotta believe that you deserve to live a life that's full of energy, positive energies, living up to your true potential, having successful, healthy, happy relationships that are defined by your own standard. It's all start with your core values, right? So if you make it this far, I would like to invite you to take a pause with me and close your eyes. If you're comfortable, take a deep breath in and out, and ask yourself gently, am I making choices that align with who I truly am? What is one tiny step I could take today to feel more like me? You might not have the answer right away, but you need to keep asking the right questions. Just that awareness can start to rewire how you live your life. When you live in alignment with your values, you don't need to chase success or happiness. It will find you. So, that's the beauty of alignment. Simplifying, aligning, and investing your energy in the right things. It doesn't have to feel like a hustle. It should feel like a coming home to yourself and actually embracing the beauty that is within you. Okay? So, here's your challenge for this week again. To identify your core values, check your alignment, and take one actions that would honor one of your core values that is missing in your life right now. And you don't need to overhaul your entire life. Just start living more in tune with who you already are. And you will eventually find your way back to yourself. Feel a sense of inner peace, inner alignment. If you want to, please feel free to share what you find out about your core values in the comments, and we could celebrate each other and cheer each other on. We all need a village. We all need a support circle. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone who's feeling a little bit lost, a little bit off track in life. And hit the subscribe button for more weekly tools and updates to live with purpose, joy, and connections. So, until then, stay aligned, stay inspired, and stay true to you. And remember to check out the description. I have a lot of free and low-cost resources for you to start today to improve the quality of your life.